Number 4, you agree to pay a proper respect to the civil magistrate, to work diligently, live creditably, and act honorably by all men. Number 5, you agree to hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of Freemasonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brethren when in lodge convened, and in every case consistent with the constitution of the fraternity. Number 6, you agree to avoid private picks and quarrels and to guard against intemperance and excess. Number 7, you agree to be cautious in carriage and behavior, cautious to your brother, courteous to your brother, and faithful to your lodge. Number 8, you promise to respect genuine brethren and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original plan of masonry. Number 9, you agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues, and to propagate the knowledge of the mystic art. Number 10, you promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and to his officers when duly installed, and strictly conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or General Assembly of Masons that is not subversive of the principles and groundwork of Masonry. Number 11, you admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry. Number 12, you promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge, on receiving proper notice, and to pay attention to all the duties of Masonry on convenient occasions. Number 13, you admit that no new lodge shall be formed without permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to any irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein, being contrary to the ancient charters of Freemasonry. 14, you admit that no person can be regularly made a Mason in or admitted a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character. Number 15, you agree that no visitor shall be received into your lodge without due examination and producing proper vouchers of their having been initiated in a regular lodge. These are the regulations of free and accepted Masons. Do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations, as all masters have done in all ages before you?
I do.
My brother, in consequence of your cheerful conformity to the charges and regulations of the fraternity, you are now to be installed master of this lodge in full confidence of your care, skill, and capacity to govern the same. With pleasure, I now invest you in the jewel of your office, the square. As a square is employed by operative masons to fit and adjust the stones of a building, that all its parts may properly agree, so you, as master of this lodge, are admonished by the symbolic meaning of the square to preserve the moral deportment among the members of your lodge, which should always characterize good masons, and to exert your authority to prevent ill feeling or angry discussion arising to impair the harmony of its meeting. I now place in your care the furniture and the implements of masonry, the Holy Bible, square, and compass. Upon its open pages is on the altar, where it must always be when the lodge is at labor. The holy writings, that great light in masonry, will guide you to all truth. It will direct your paths to the temple of happiness and point out to you the whole duty of man. The square teaches us to regulate our actions by rule and line, and to harmonize our conduct by the principles of morality and virtue. The compass teaches us to limit our desires in every station, that rising to eminence by merit we may live respected and die regretted. The rule directs that we should punctually observe our duty, press forward in the path of virtue, and neither inclining to the right nor to the left, and all our actions have eternity in view. The line teaches the criterion of moral rectitude to avoid dissimulation in conversation and action, and to direct our steps to the path which leads to immortality. The Book of Constitutions, where to search at all times, cause it to be read at your lodge, that none may pretend ignorance of the excellent precepts it enjoins. Now receive in charge this charter, by the authority of which your lodge is held. Without his presence, you cannot open your lodge. You are therefore to preserve it carefully and to transmit it safely to your successor. You will also receive in charge the bylaws of your lodge, which you are to carefully and punctually execute. Mother Marshal will escort our master-elect to the east. Lastly, I place in your hands the gavel, the emblem of your authority. Use it firmly, but not arbitrarily, to the end that peace and harmony may prevail among our brethren. I now conduct you to the royal church and cover you with a distinction which is yours alone to bear. And call up the brother.
Marshal, will you present Brother Nick Johnson?
Let's go. We gotta go some dignitary issues.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, well, the brother didn't pretty right. Brother pretty right. I now hail you as the master of this lodge. Master, behold your brother. Brethren, behold your master and unite with me in giving him the grand honor. And if you may seat the brother.
Brothers, you may be seated. And Marshal, will you present Brother Nick Johnson for installation as senior warden of this lodge?
Worshipful Master, I present Brother Nick Johnson to be installed senior warden of this lodge.
My brother, you have been elected senior warden of this lodge, and I now invest you with the jewel of your office, the level. The level demonstrates that we are descended from the same stock, partake of the same nature, and share the same hope. And though distinctions among men are necessary to preserve subordination, yet no eminence of station should make us forget that we are brethren, because a time will come, and the wisest knows not how soon, when all distinction but that of goodness shall cease, and death, the grand leveler of human greatness, reduce us to the same state. Your regular attendance on the meetings of the lodge is essentially necessary. In the absence of the master, you are to govern this lodge. In his presence, you are to assist him in the government of it. I firmly rely on your knowledge of masonry and attachment to the lodge for the faithful discharge of the duties of this important trust. Look well to the west.